everybody? Welcome aboard. I am a little bit later. I'm later than usual. I'm actually right on time, but I am a little bit later than I usually am when we're here. Market's interesting day. Not a surprise that we had a big sell-off, a little bit of tariff panic, which I just said on Claim and Show is not the reason that we are selling. I think that, thank you. I think that the debt and the other issues, because the whole world knew there was going to be tariffs. This is not a surprise, okay? I don't think anybody should be surprised. And again, if you go back and look at the tariffs from the last time that President Trump was in office, the markets excelled. So again, let's not make bullshit, okay? Let's just look at the market the way it is. And it's not a surprise that we saw back-to-back Mondays with big sell-offs because I've told you many times in the past, markets that when they break, they usually break on a Monday first because people have the weekend to get nervous. They have the weekend to get afraid. And suddenly you see some selling. Does that make sense? Okay. People get a little bit nervous. They get a little bit nutty. And certainly, bang, there comes the selling. So now what happened? Well, we had the selling and then you had the rest of the day, the markets actually rallied. Okay. I mean, I think that the NASDAQ opened almost on its low tick of the night. Okay, which is down almost 1,000 again. At the end of the day, look at this chart. There's nothing really damaging here. There's nothing to worry here right now. I mean, is it possible? Yeah, could tariffs be an issue? Possibly. Okay, but basically just another Monday sell-off. We've got all kinds of issues. I mean, you've got Social Security with a shortfall. You've got an economy that is failing. You've got it taking so many dollars to create more GDP. So I don't think that there's anything I think we should be sad about. Obviously, what's been going on in the airlines lately, some issues there, and our condolences go out to all the families and people who work there. Very, very tragic. But at the end of the day, here we are. We're in a market that really hasn't done much and continues to be sideways. Okay, and hey, we're in consolidation. Okay, somebody asked me last night when I thought was it time to sell, and I said no. What you want to look for is you want to look for the opening in the morning. If there's going to be any more panic, once the rest of the panic's out, that's the time to buy. Okay, gold hit a new all-time high. Listen, is it a surprise? Okay, again, what is gold hitting a new all-time high telling you? Okay, what is that really telling you? What is that message that you're getting from gold hitting an all-time new high? Okay. Run to safety. Inflation. Inflation is rising, kids. Okay. Listen, I love Trump. I think he's going to be I think he was a great president. I think he will be a great president. But the damage that has been done, it's going to take a while to get that all cleaned up. This is not going to be easy. And there's going to be a big meltdown at some point. When, I don't know. But right now, we're going to continue. And by the way, today, we're going to do this all in one recording, okay? We're not going to split it into two. So if you're listening at home, know that it's all one, okay? And when you see the PowerPoint come up, you know that I switched to the regular Monday night call, but we will do this as one. And Kenny, you ready, big boy? Gotta wait for my man to tell me he's ready for notes. And of course, he's not here yet, so maybe he forgot. All right, well, for right now, there will be no notes because I got nobody to take them. Okay, dumb shit media. Why are the prices of eggs so high? The bird flu. Listen, remember, we have an industry, all industries, that take advantage of people. Okay, from gasoline back in the big days in the 70s and the 80s till now, from Starbucks coffee to the grocery stores, they get an advantage to screw you. They're going to screw you. And you know what? Those prices are never coming back down again. Okay. So I'm sorry to say there will be no notes tonight because I thought Kenny was going to take them, but he's not here. So right now we'll go without notes. And if he shows up, great. And if not, well, we'll have no notes this week. You'll have to write them down. In the meantime, as we do look across the board, the dollar, which we no longer trade. And again, it has nothing to do with my opinion of the dollar. It has only my opinion to do with the cost of trading in New York. Okay. I am not paying them $120 a month for the privilege to trade their shit. Okay. So in the meantime, we would have been long and a little bit higher, we would be getting short, but right now we would be long still at the moment. Okay. The euro currency, we are flat. Okay. Got a little bit hurt on the transition because I knew, well, you all knew Friday that we were getting out, and unfortunately we got a big beat down, but it wasn't the end of the world. Again, we've had some good weeks back to back, so it'll happen. In the meantime, oh, I'm sorry, I got to give these levels just in case he does show up or gets to recording. The dollar would be 108 to 110. The euro currency would be 102 to 104. Okay, now remember, if you remember a couple weeks ago, I told you were going to get a 3-4 cent rally, and you got it. Okay, I'm telling you, you'll probably get another one coming here shortly as well. Okay, again, this is not, it doesn't mean anything, but when markets get so oversold or so overbought, okay, they're going to have some retracement to the mean. That's all that you're really looking for. Okay, the notes, okay, notes were kind of flat. We are out. We sold this morning. Okay, so we're now flat notes, which you can see we're very much overbought here. I think you're looking at 108 to 109.5. Certainly, I'd be much more inclined to be a seller. And at 110, I'm working in order at 110 to be a seller. Okay, just to be clear, 109.16 is a place to look at, but I have a standing order or a resting order, they call it, to sell them at 110. Okay, so and just keep that in mind as you look. And the bonds, Zulu Bravo, the same thing. Okay, I've got a standing order at 116. Okay, but I think your true resistance is at 115. Okay, I think your support is at about 112. Okay, and certainly you can see we are extended, we are overbought. And again, you have to decide if you believe that interest rates are going higher. Okay, then these are going lower, which I do believe that. If you believe interest rates are going lower, then these are going to go higher. I believe it has been proven by the Federal Reserve that even when they cut rates, interest rates haven't come down. And as I've told you in the past, the 10-year today is at about 4.6. Okay, when the Fed made their first cut, it was at 3.5. Okay, so all it means is that the banks are making more money. Okay, screw you, screw me, the banks are making more money. Okay, Bitcoin, wild day today in Bitcoin, was down huge. What was down? About 8,000, 9,000. Okay, but it is still 90,000 is still the, I'm still looking for 85 straight out, but 90,000 should be support. I have a resting order to buy some at 85,000. I think 105 is proven to be pretty solid resistance. And again, it's got nothing to do with whether I think it's breaking or not. It's in pretty solid consolidation. Can everybody see that? That for the last, what, 3 months, 4 months, we've been in straight sideways? So it's going to break out one way or the other. Okay. Which way? Either way, I don't know. And it doesn't really matter to me because at the end of the day, I'm going to take advantage of it and it could break up. Okay. It certainly would indicate that it would break up. And if it doesn't break up, it'll give you a buying opportunity. Okay. Remember, we're never in anything for, unless you're day trading, you're never in anything for 1 minute. You're looking for long-term growth. Okay. There was some nice work to the downside. And again, it got very oversold earlier. And it was an opportunity. And I did make a day trade on some earlier today. But again, you know, it's not that big a deal. Okay. I have no doubt that it's going higher, but I have no doubt in my mind that it's going to come down to 85,000 before it makes any serious move to the upside. Could I be wrong? 1,000% I could be wrong. I have no idea. Okay. Gold, another new high made today, made this morning on the opening, and this is a new print high as well. So again, where's our resistance? Well, I have to assume that your next resistance is 2,900. Okay, we'll have to assume that 2,800 is support. Now I'm actually looking for, and if you've seen the chat room, I'm looking for 2713. Okay, I'm looking for 2713. Okay, I don't know that Bido would be the place I'd go. If I were looking to make a bigger play on Bitcoin, I don't know if it would be in Bido. I think you might want to look at iBit. I think you might want to look at BitQ, some of those others. Bido doesn't seem to keep up in either. Byte2 with a U. Okay, we'll look at it later. Okay. Hold on a second. I can't believe the president shorted me on TV today too, fucker. Anyways, I think 28 to 2900, we have no position. We got out this morning. Okay, silver, Sierra India, again, very much overbought. I think that, again, 33, listen, I love silver. Okay, to me, the best buy right now in anything is silver. It's cheap, okay? It's got a huge upside potential. Again, you got to be willing to risk, okay? But I do think that silver 33, and I think 31, okay, 31 to 33. Why do you think there's so much divergence between gold and silver performance? Because silver, because you got people that just know how to buy gold, and they don't get the whole concept of the precious metals, and they look at silver more as an industrial metal. So listen, again, you let things happen. I mean, the true ratio initially was 15 to 1. Well, we know that's not the case anymore. Okay. Anyways, platinum, which we do not trade, Papa Lima, again, had a nice little rally, broke back down. I think your support now becomes 980. I think your resistance is 1050. And again, this would be if I were looking for long-term plays in which I was willing to take physical delivery, okay, not playing the futures market. If I were, and what I take physical delivery, because I take physical delivery on gold, silver, and platinum, okay, number one would be silver, number two would be platinum, okay. I don't know, for those of you who remember, platinum used to be double gold. Now it's a third or so, a third of gold, okay. To me, those are value plays, but those are long-term. You got to be willing to hold it. You got to have the capital to be willing to hold it. Does that make sense? Okay. Copper, which we still have no position. It's still doing nothing. It's still stuck. 418 to 437. Nothing to do. Grains, as I mentioned to you last week, I bought wheat. Okay. We still have no position. I would expect wheat might come back to 540 now as a little bit of a pullback. I think 580 is the next target or next resistance. But tariffs or no tariffs, what happened to the grain markets today? Tariffs or no tariffs, what happened to the grain market? They're up to 95. What was it going in? I don't watch it that often. What was it going into today? Okay, so all the tariff nonsense. Meantime, grain markets were all higher. Oh, nice, nice. Okay, we have no position right now. Corn continues higher. We're still short. Okay, I think that you're still looking. I think $5 is the key, and believe me, I think these are going higher overall. I think it's $4.70 to $5. Okay, but I think they're going higher overall. Okay, like I said, I don't worry about the tariffs. I think you think about the supply and demand model. Okay, tariffs. We've had tariffs before. We used to have tariffs on a regular basis back to 1962, and I don't like the world of free trade. Okay, I'm more interested in the United States being the powerhouse. That's my opinion. Take it for what it's worth. And soybeans, a little bit of a rally. Again, got to oversold, and here they are right back here. I think you're looking at probably 1020 to 1080. Okay, 1020 to 1080. But I do expect pretty solid movement in the grains coming soon. I don't think it'll be in the next couple of weeks, but I think probably when we start getting closer to planting season, I expect to see some bigger movement. Cattle, which you guys don't trade, and we don't trade it either. Actually, let me go down to the cattle we are trading, if you do trade it. And I got the perfect headline on Saturday or Friday. Okay, anybody see that headline? Okay. Cattle had all kinds of bullish news, and they came out with a headline. It was like the old days before all this technology. You'd see a headline in the USA Today, you knew it was either time to buy or sell. Well, we have the shortest amount of cattle, the least amount of cattle since 1951. Okay. To me, that was not an automatic sign to sell it. And I wish I could have sold more before they opened. But in the meantime, I think they're going a lot lower. I think in my eyes, the next support is 195. Resistance is 205. Okay. And for those of you who may trade it, again, I don't. We don't. I do. Okay. Feeder cattle got clocked today. As suspected, we said last Monday, it was very overbought. I don't trade it myself. I do think 268 is the next target. Okay. I think it's 268 to 280. Hogs got smoked. These are not the right ones just to look at. Let's look at the right ones. Let's look at J. This is April. You got spanked. Okay. Now Tomorrow, if they open lower tomorrow, I'm buying. Okay. You mean because cattle was obvious news headline shortage of cattle, so take the. There's an old thing, okay, that we as traders used to do. When it finally hits the headlines, all the commercial buyers, everybody knew that there was a shortage long before it hit the headlines. So now it hits the headlines, it finally starts to go down. It's the old buy the news, sell the rumor, or sell the rumor, buy the news. Okay, vice versa. Okay. Anyways, I would like to see hogs come down to about 85, which I would be a buyer of April. Okay. I think you're 85 to 90. Natural gas, a little bit of a rally today, but look at where it's gone to. Okay. From the polar vortex all the way here, I think this is nothing more than a dead cat bounce. I would look to sell at 340. Okay. I think it's 340, $3 to 340. Okay. Remember, we're now getting past winter as well. Okay. So that's the next thing you look at. Okay. Crude, no surprise you got a little bit of a pop, but look at what happened. Okay. We were originally watching 80. Now we are certainly, I would say you've seen solid support back at 72, which was an old resistance level of ours. I think it's 72 to 76. And I have a resting order in at 76 to sell. And we are short. Okay. And of course, as we look into the futures market, first we'll look at the VIX. The VIX had a little bit of a pop, but as I always tell you, when you get an explosion on the VIX in the morning, what normally happens almost immediately? Normally it fails right away. And of course it did. Look, it was still up $2 for the day. But at the end of the day, you know that those spikes up are purely driven by people that are buying blindly that have no idea. Okay. And they're immediately going to get met with selling, and you saw it. We witnessed it today. The VIX is relatively flat. I think it's really consolidating between, let's say, 16 and 22. What I really want to see is a more steady, like we saw here, okay, or we saw here, okay. Listen, it's always going to revert back because there's only going to be so many option buyers, and that is how the VIX is connoitered, is how many buyers versus how many sellers. Buy to open versus sell to open. That is what the whole VIX is based on. It doesn't have to be puts. It can be calls or puts. Okay. In the meantime, the Dow, Yankee Michael, actually was almost higher again. Now, it did close lower, but it was almost higher today. But notice, okay, 44,000 to 45,000. The exact levels we gave last week, 44,000 to 45,000. Where are we? We're dead in the middle. Okay. There's no reason for me to change what those levels are. Okay, 44 to 45. Look, we're flat now, but certainly I would have no problem if you thought at 44 that it looked like a buy, and I'd have no problem if you thought at 45 it was a sell. I have no real opinion right now. I think the chart looks pretty good. I don't think there's been a lot of damage here. Okay, and certainly the two big down days. Didn't the Dow close up last Monday when the market was down? Okay, so again, I would not be surprised if it goes higher. I think you're kind of back at the mean, and there's really not a decision. There's not really a mathematical decision. Holy shit, we're getting a nice little rally here. Hold on, right at the bell. Look at it. Right at the bell. Look at it. Right, it's almost 4 o'clock. Oh, it's only 3:20. Oh, look at it. I like to sell it. I wish I wasn't teaching. I like to sell that. Anyways. The S&P Echo Sierra. Okay, again, we thought that the levels were 5,900 to 6,100. Where did we get to? 6,100. Here we are. We got down to 5,920 this morning. Okay. So I can't manage it if I'm here. If I'm doing this, I can't put my attention somewhere else if I'm here. The Nasdaq November Quebec. This still looks pretty bad. Okay. Now, when you start to see a potential trend changing, and I'm not saying that this is changing, but to me, the NASDAQ looks the worst of the indexes, and the NASDAQ looks like it's starting to trend lower. Okay, it is making lower highs. Okay, I think the key in the NASDAQ is going to be 20,800, and what happens there. Okay, I think you're right now, if you were to look at it, it'd be 20,800 to 21,600. Which is not very far away. It might get there the way this thing is going now, it might get there now. Okay. And I'll put my order in right now, and just in case. But again, if I look at the pattern, this looks to me as the most likely of the weakest. And it makes sense because I said to you in the past, the semiconductors are in a little trouble. Liz Clayman mentioned NVIDIA. She didn't give me a chance to comment on it, but again, everybody wants to make a big deal out of nothing. Okay. 20,800 to 21,600. And the Russell, Romeo Tango Yankee, got to a little bit oversold. Okay, bounced right back up. I think you can see clearly 2,200 is a support. And I think that you're looking at probably 2,290 as resistance. Okay, which we're not far from that either. Okay. So the rally is slightly continuing. I'll just share it with you. Yeah, I don't know what, did some news just come out, or somebody's big earnings just come out? Or is it just a normal rally? I don't care. I'm just curious if there was news, or was it for Palantir maybe? Is that what taking it? Okay. All right. Oh, cool. All right. Now we'll go right into the PowerPoint, and then back to the stocks. Okay. And of course, maybe we could accept Bitcoin. It's dangerous to be right when the government is wrong. Yeah, that would be a very truthful statement. You will never understand bureaucracies until you understand that for bureaucrats, procedures, everything, and outcomes are nothing. Smart guy, Thomas Sowell. Okay. In the meantime, to all of my military and all of my veterans and all of my first responders, to all of you, I thank you so much. Your service is invaluable to me and to this country. I appreciate you and thank you. Legitimately fake news. White House debunks Democratic freakout over Dodge access to secure spaces as Musk drops red pills over USAID AID biolabs. And what you're finding out is that even the Wuhan labs were getting payments from the United States, okay, which is what I said a long time ago. You may not listen to me, but that's what I did say. And all of these automatic payments that go out that we continue to pay for and finance, it's about time somebody's taking a look into this stuff, okay? I can't wait till sometime we'll get a look at the Fed and how crooked they are. Trump effect continues. Panama bends the knee, will not renew Silk Road deal with China after Rubio visit. Well, that's pretty good news, okay? Home affordability crisis taking toll on America's young adults. Well, who can afford a house? Again, we're now, housing is overpriced, okay? Mortgage rates are high. They're not high for those of you of my age, but they're high for those of you who are 20 years younger than me, okay? Mortgage rates are again, they're fair, but again, now you got the amount of general inflation, it doesn't fit well anymore because the cost of everything else is too expensive. But again, if you've seen, I don't know, I had to go to a discount mall yesterday. I can't believe how much money people are spending. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the economy is in great shape. Maybe we're not in a recession. Okay. I can't believe the number of bags these people are carrying out of there. It was unbelievable. Canada imposes 25% on tariffs and trade war with U.S. Well, we'll see. There's talk about this already. And of course, the trade war over, Mexican president says tariffs delayed for a month after deploying 10,000 troops to border to halt fentanyl. And wouldn't that be great to get along with everybody? Okay. Trump establishing sovereign wealth fund. Yes. Wouldn't that be great if we got along with our borders and we could work together and then shut out China? That would be good for me. I'd like that. But anyways, the words of wisdom from Connie, who's not here today, but the only man who never makes mistakes is a man who never does anything. And ain't that the truth? Okay. And her State of the Unions, this is the mentally ill man RFK Jr. is replacing. You can shove your criticism of RFK Jr. straight up your deranged ass. When archaeologists find skeletons, they always are male or female, not one of the other 62 genders. Biologists are predicting a decline in male pregnancies due to political climate change. And of course, my bitch, which I always have one. Okay. Oh, okay, no worries. Those whining about tariffs. I am so happy that we have tariffs. Okay. As I said, I want control back. We don't need anybody else. And if my prices are a little bit higher, I mean, how much more can I pay for a dozen eggs? Okay. How much more can I pay at the grocery store? Okay. Are the tariffs going to affect my groceries? I don't think so. Okay. Again, I think that if everything works the way it should work, gas will come down, you'll have more spending money. And if the prices are slightly higher because of the tariffs, it'll make this country stronger, but it also might bring business back into this country, which will allow us to pay higher and better wages. That's my opinion. Okay. So again, maple syrup. No, I got a guy right here makes maple syrup for me. Well, mine won't be any more expensive this year than it was last year. Bring manufacturing back. Anyways, all right, let's get back to work. Anyways, Apple, Alpha Papa Lima. Well, we are still long, unfortunately. But again, as I said to you, that I didn't think it would get much past 240. It actually exploded on earnings, got to 247. I think that is now your resistance. I think we're right now on support at about 225. Okay, got down there this morning, 225 to 240. We'll make it 245, Kenny. If you're keeping track, if you're not, don't worry about it. I told everybody no notes. Okay. So if you're taking them, great. If not, don't worry about it. Okay. Alpha Golf. Now notice, remember what I said to you last week and the last 2 weeks. I did buy some more down here, which I told you I was going to, but I own a lot of it and I'm playing it. But if you're looking for a new position, I want to see it over $6 and be able to hold over $6. Right now, it's really just stuck between 550 and 6. Okay. And I see no reason to take a new trade, okay, and put it on here. Does that make sense? There's a difference between adding on to a current position or bicycling around trading something versus creating something new. Okay. And to me, I see no reason until I have evidence that this is actually breaking to the upside. Okay. And this is a cheap play on silver as well. Amazon, Alpha Michael Zulu November. It's 230 to 240, but you get earnings this week. So I wouldn't get too involved with it. 230 to 240. Okay. Bido, Bravo, India, Tango, Oscar, got clobbered. I think 22 is support, pretty obvious. I think it's 22 to 26. Their dividend is still good, but remember, it is a non-qualified dividend and BITU. Okay. The problem with these ultra ETFs, these are only tradable. They are not holdable. Does that make sense? Okay. They're only tradable. They are not holdable. Okay. Because they are nothing more than big options that will decay and decline. Okay. Do they have a big dividend too? I gotta look that up. Hold on. I got to look that up. %26. Again, be very careful with leverage the ETFs. Okay. They are nothing more than big options. They are great for a quick trade. Here, you'd have bought this today. And I'm not saying you should have, but if you bought it at $48, it went back to 56. Okay. So again, Bido's 22 to 26. This is an alternative on a day like today. Max hold time 10 days. Okay. Unless it continues to go dramatically your favor. Okay. But overall, max hold time should be 10 days. Okay. Because again, you're dealing with a big option. And remember, this is like retail. If it goes down, it takes all that much more to get it back out because it doesn't work on the same price action that you work on every day in your normal charts. Okay. Okay, BitQ, Bravo, India, Tango, Quebec, $17 is still our resistance. I think it's still 17 to 20. It hasn't changed. I do think you might be seeing some resistance come in at about 19 now. Okay, 17 to 20 is what I'm looking. 19 would be in the area. And again, this is one I don't short. When I own always, I've owned it since 347. Okay. I trade it. Okay. So I would sell if I had extra, which I don't have any extra right now. If I had extra, I might sell some at 20. Okay, but I'm not going short at 20. Okay, I'm a buyer only of this particular security. Okay. 17 to 20. Coin, Charlie, Oscar, India, November. Got a little bit almost overbought, came down, but really, it's really still stuck. It's still 260 to 300. Okay, and I think the earnings are in the next couple of weeks. Like, obviously, it goes right with Bitcoin. As Bitcoin got clobbered, this was down about $15 or 20. I rolled as hell. I bought 500 shares today at no price I buy them. Hold on, it was one of my hedge positions. I bought 500 shares at 275.89. Okay. So, in the meantime, 260 to 300. Crowd, Charlie Romeo Whiskey Delta, very much overbought. Again, I'm not encouraging you to sell. Certainly at 420, I do own this, by the way. We were flat it, but I do own this in my retirement account. I think 420 is resistance, but again, I would take a look potentially at 410 if it gets up there. I would expect to see some pullback, and there's no real news coming out in the near future. I think you're looking at 360 and 380. I think 380 is going to be the next support. Okay. Make sure I'm not missing anybody up here. I'm a little off kilter when I don't start at my normal time. I get a little off center. Oh, I did want to show you this. Oh, wait, I knew I had something for you. Hold on. Oh, 1 second. Remember what I told you what happens with these markets and these options when something goes on and they don't do what they're expected to do? Does anybody remember that? Okay. Well, hold on, I want to show you something. Okay, here's Meta. Here's Meta's after earnings. Every call and every put got clobbered. Okay. The stock moved $10. Every put and every put call got clobbered. And the same went for, I believe it was Tesla, I think. Yeah, Tesla. Every put and every call got clobbered. That's why you don't start buying into those things. Does that make sense? How? Because they're overpriced. Because the implied volatility is out of control. That's why we are always short volatility into earnings and buying volatility out in the future. Okay? Everybody who thinks they're a fucking genius by buying volatility in ridiculous numbers will always end up broke. You will always end up busted if you keep buying that ridiculous volatility that's so high. Okay. In the meantime, Meta, I don't know. Looks to me like, 720, I guess would be the next level. It's at new highs. So I don't know. 660 to 720. I don't trade it, so I don't have a big feel for it. I would consider and will consider tomorrow potentially selling it. Okay. I do make spot trades on it, right? But I don't follow it except for Mondays unless I see it. You can only follow so many things. Okay. I gotta go to the dude. He follows everything. Somehow you magically can watch everything going on. So I get a lot of things to look at from him. Okay. But again, if you do watch it, I would certainly look to be a seller if it continues to rally a little bit. And not because I'm negative, I think it's just very overbought. I think you have an excellent shot of a pullback. Okay. Google earnings tomorrow, so not much to do. I think you're looking at, again, whatever I give you is worthless right now, but 205, okay, to 195. But let's see, what is their expectation of movement tomorrow? Google. Expected move tomorrow, $13. Okay. So this should move $13 plus or minus up to 215 or down to 188. Okay. And if it doesn't, all these options will get crushed. Okay. Just like before, just like I just showed you. Okay. IWM, India Whiskey Michael. Really not a lot going here. It held our resistance, which is we talked about. Now we're coming back to our support. I think support now is about 220. 220 to 230. Microsoft got clocked last week. This would be one if you're looking to buy. First of all, if you're looking to potentially buy to hedge, you'd be looking at this. I think this is probably 400, which I'd like to see it come to, but it could hold here. I think you're 400 to 430. Okay. But if you're looking for a play, I want it to come a little bit lower. If you're looking to put it in your hedging account, I would have no problem buying it right here. In fact, I don't have much of Microsoft in mind, but I may put it in tomorrow. Look at this. The Dow's up now. Look at this. Good thing I was here. Look at that. Obviously, some very good news is coming out. Okay, it must be with Canada. Oil's getting crushed. Okay, look at it. Okay, so evidently, they must have made a deal with Canada because look at oil. Huh. Okay, all good. Anyways, MSTR. Again, this is really wild. I got to get a better feel of this, but certainly you would be looking for a potential spot to buy this. I would love to see it come down to about 300 and look to be a buyer. Okay, I think it's 300 to 400. They got earnings, so scratch that. Earnings are Wednesday. What's their expected move? It's got to be $50. It's got to be $50. I'm sorry, 35. $35 expected move this week. Okay. So, and next week 54. So, and that's plus or minus. I've noticed all the Bitcoin corollaries like coin, MSTR, and miners have decoupled. They used to do 2 times Bitcoin performance. I never saw it do 2 times, but again, I don't watch it as close as you do, I'm sure. Tariffs are delayed in Canada for 30 days. Now that makes sense for the rally right now. Again, it really doesn't make sense. It does make sense for the sell-off in crude oil, but again, we'll see. Nugget, November Uniform Golf Tango. I would be looking for a spot to sell it. To me, if I were to look, I'd like to see it get back to 50. Okay. I wouldn't really want to be a buyer until 40. Okay. And obviously this can change. These are as it sits right now. Okay. Not in the future. Planetary 102, so that's up $21. Not bad. I wish I had some. No. These are based on what I'm looking at now. What happens overnight, I cannot account for. I can give you general ideas of where. NVIDIA, November Victor Delta Alpha. I would certainly be a buyer of NVIDIA. We are long it. Okay. I think that it is very oversold. I think it is an opportunity. Okay. But it's certainly, I'd be looking somewhere around, hopefully even 110. I mean, again, I'm looking to play the oversold conditions. Okay. I own it in my retirement account anyways, but I am looking to trade the oversold conditions. Okay. So I would certainly be looking for some spot to trade it here. For today, I'll give it to you at 113 to 130. 113 to 130. The Qs, Quebec. Well, they're much higher now. In the meantime, they're still 510 to 530. It hasn't changed. Once again, you haven't seen much change, right? You haven't seen much change in the markets in general. So when we don't see much change, we know that we're just consolidating. This NASDAQ's going to get up before it's all over. Before we're done, the NASDAQ, the S&P might be up in the day too before we're done. How about that? The Dow's up 100. SMCI continues to hover. Okay, down at the bottom. They got earnings tomorrow, so there's really nothing to do. Certainly, I'd look at 25. If it gets to 20 tomorrow, I'll buy it, earnings or no earnings. Okay, I think you're 25 to 30 right now here. Square or XYZ now, really just consolidating, really not much to do. I think you're looking at 93 to 88. The SPY, Sierra Papa Yankee, 590 to 610, has not changed one iota. Tesla, Tango Sierra Lima Alpha, very much oversold. If it does hold here, I think 375. I'm looking to be a buyer anyways, and I do own it already, but I'm looking to be a buyer of more. 375 to 4.25. Win. Whiskey Yankee November. Got very overbought, natural pullback, no shock whatsoever. I think you're still looking at 80 to 88. That has not changed. XBI, X-Ray Bravo India. 94 is resistance, 88 is support. Nothing's really changed. Here we go again. Nothing has really changed. Okay. XLE getting pummeled, which we thought it would. I was a week early. Okay. Now we're down to 88. I don't trade this and will not trade this But if I were going to look at it, if it gets to 86, I'd look to be a potential buyer. Okay, as a trade. Okay. I think you're looking at 86 to 90 right now. Zoom. Okay. Got very overbought. Okay, and came off naturally. I think you can see 88 is resistance. I think 84 is a support level. And I think that 80 would be the next target after that. Okay. So I don't see much. It's still, you know, with all the action, it's still relatively quiet. We're not getting enough real fiery action in the market. Should we chase? No, you never chase. If you didn't get filled, it's over. Okay. You've got tomorrow to get filled on Google. The QQQ should have filled right away. But if it didn't fill, that's okay. And look, remember, we got plenty of trades on. We made a ton on the ratio trades that we had on. Okay. If it doesn't fill, it doesn't fill. There's a trade next week. You know what? The nice thing about the markets are, there's always another trade coming. Okay. That's fine. There's always another trade coming. Don't worry about it. Do not chase it. Okay. Do not. Never chase the market. Okay. Okay. Got it? Never chase the market. If you got anything you want me to look at, I'll be happy to look at it now. Anybody? Nothing today? Oh, okay. Oh, there they come. Shop. Sierra Hotel, Oscar Papa. Pretty much like the rest of the market, kind of consolidating. If you're looking to be a buyer, I would not be a buyer here. Okay, I'd rather be a seller at 120. If I were looking to be a buyer, I would look to be a buyer around 100, 105. Okay. Oh, they got earnings. I see that now. Well, that's next week. So again, I wouldn't do much with it anyways. Okay. If I were going to make, I could set up an earnings trade on it. I don't have time to do it now, but I could set up a trade that would be neutral. Okay. And go either way. And then I could benefit and sell this heavy premium it's going to have. Ford. Here you go. Ford. $6. I don't know. Wait, why did you give me Ford? Is this what you're looking at? You meant F. I'm thinking, I'm going, wait a second. Wait a second. And it's still not much better. Look, I wouldn't trade this with counterfeit money. They don't pay much of a dividend anymore either, do they? They used to be worth it for the dividend. But if I remember correctly, and I could be wrong, $6% yield, okay. I could live with it. Again, you're not going to get rich on this, okay? But it does give you 6%. Well, it's at this level. Okay. DTX, Delta Tango X-ray. Really? You're asking me about a fucking penny stock? Really? You're asking me about a 19-cent stock? DTX, this is the symbol. This is what you gave me. Oh, give me the symbol. I don't know what it is. What's the symbol for down transports on whatchamacallit? On Tradier. I have no idea what the symbol is. So unless you can get me a symbol, you're out of luck. Okay. JNK. That sounds like junk bonds to me. High yield bonds. Again, looks okay. I mean, you know, again, it's not typically in my wheelhouse. Any stock that has 50-cent breaks on the side, I don't normally get involved with. Okay. That means it's not going to move very much. But again, if you want to buy them, I mean, I would have no problem somewhere around 95. Okay. They have any dividend here? How big is it? Looking at JNK. I think it does have a dividend. I'm pretty sure. 6%. Not bad. Again, not bad. 6%. Yeah, okay. Let's see if I can find the transports for my buddy. Although I don't give a fuck about them, but I'll see if I can. I can't buy. I don't even know what they are. I would assume it's a dollar sign something, but on Thinkorswim, but I don't have any idea. DJT maybe. There you go. Okay. It looked like shit. How's it? I think they're breaking down. The key is going to be about 15,750. Okay. All right. Anyways, where was I? Where was I? TKO, technical knockout. Tango, Kilo, Oscar. Looks pretty good. Okay. If I were looking at this to buy it, I'd like to buy it around under 150, but 150 would be okay. It looks great. Okay. The question is how much room's left in it. And again, I'd have to look deeper into it, but from an overall view, certainly I could look at 152. Personally, I'd like to get it at 150, but certainly if you bought it right here, I couldn't fault you. Okay. Pasco. What is it, $1 billion yet? I don't understand. I go in there, to me, there's no bargain. Look at that. New high. Is this an all-time new high? It looks like an all-time new high. God bless America. What a wonderful country. Oh, nice. Again, I don't know. I can only be a seller of Costco right now, not because I don't like the company, although I don't, but not because I don't like the company, but because of the positioning is it's just too far overbought for me. GCO, Golf, Charlie, Oscar. I mean, to me, about 38 bucks if I were looking to buy it. It really looks like it really just likes in consolidation, 38 to 44, but it looks okay. Certainly, I'd rather be a buyer than a seller, especially here. IQ, IONQ, India, Oscar, November, Quebec. That's pretty good too. This looks like Booksy. This looks like it wants to go either way. Okay. If you're looking to be a buyer, I think 35 or so, 36 is okay. If you're looking to be a seller, I'd say about 44. But to me, it looks like it wants to go higher, and it's had a hell of a move. Another one of your great finds I wish I had long ago. Pack, Hotel Alpha Charlie Kilo. This looks really good too. 76 to 80. I'd like to be I'd rather be a buyer. ALAB, Alpha Lima Alpha Bravo. Wow. What caused the big dump, you know? You know what caused the big crack? In the meantime, I mean, just looking at the chart, I wouldn't mind buying it at 80. I wouldn't mind selling it at 110. Okay, but I need a little more. I'd like to know what caused the big cracker there. Poet will be up tomorrow, I am told. That's probably pretty good. Probably a pretty good bet. This looks really good. And every time it's dumped, I gotta write that down. I gotta buy some more tomorrow. Hold on. Let me put that on my note sheet. Poet. So I don't forget, because otherwise I'll forget. CNQ. Again with CNQ. Don't look good. It looks the same shit. It looks every week I talk to you about it. Now's the time to buy it. Okay. If you're looking for a spot to buy it, now's the time. Enjoy the weather every week. I thought a $2 stock was bad at 19 cents. That's okay. Is that you gave that to me? Because I'd never yell at you like that. No, it wasn't you who gave it to me. Anyways, a Mosaic. And you would think that would have been down today, right? With the tariffs. And it was. How about that? Okay. I think that, again, Mosaic's been nothing for years now, but 26 if you're looking to be a player. IV on the, well, hold on, let me explain something to you real quick. The reason the IV on Planeteers puts it so high right now, okay, is because the stock is trading with 100 and something right now, okay, and the puts are ticking, right? Look at the IV on the calls, okay. The puts are the market's live, So it's continuing to calculate volatility, even though the stock is not moving here. It's only moving up here right now. Okay, that's why. That's why it's so skewed at the moment. Oh, Coterra, I love that one. I recommended it on Liz Clayman's show last week, or last time I was on. Yeah, right here. Last time I was on was here. I like it. I like it at 27. I mean, I like it anywhere, but I like it at 27. And I think that I think everything will help them. All Trump's deal and everything will help them. FTNT. All right, a couple more. Foxtrot, Tango, November Tango. Looks good. Overbought, though. I couldn't buy it here. I need a pullback right now, like let's say 94, 95. Looks really good, though. Okay. Double Dog. Delta, Oscar Golf. This is really getting ready to maybe find another level of support. I like it at, 135. Okay. Again, this kind of looks like the NASDAQ, right? Looks like it could be trending lower, but I think it's starting to consolidate between 145 and 135. I mean, I'd certainly take a crack at it at 135 or a little bit lower, or a little bit higher from there. Grab, Golf Romeo Alpha Bravo. Grub hold. Is this Grubhub, or who is this? Grab. Look, you must know a story. I would never look at these penny stocks. You must have a story. What's the story? Give me the inside scoop. All right, a couple more. ABBV, which I own. Been struggling, but have a nice little move today, though. Wow, I didn't realize that. I would not be a buyer here, but I did buy more at 176 myself. Okay, again, I'd wait till it comes back a little bit. NTR, November Tango Romeo. 48, I could be a buyer. I don't know that I want to be a buyer, but 48 would be where I would be looking. Oh, Singapore, great story. Okay, got it. Grab, I have to write it down then. If it comes from you, I got to write it down and look at it. Keep my eyes on it. Okay, keep an eye on it. All right. How about stock AI, Alpha India? Looks like shit. Okay, I have no interest in it. It certainly, you could buy it. The AI is the next big thing. This doesn't appear to care. And I will warn everybody about one thing about AI. If you remember all the crying and complaining and torture everybody went through who tried to mine Bitcoin, at current usage, AI takes 5 times the power, which we do not have to mine to take care of AI. Okay. So any of those stocks, Nancy goes to trade. In the meantime, just be careful. We're not ready yet. We're getting closer. Okay, we're getting closer. Rigetti, I was going to recommend that today on what's it called? This looks just like the other side I just looked at. I think it looks fine. I think it's overdone, got oversold. Now we're consolidating. I'd love to be a buyer at 12 bucks. Okay. I did Tesla once, but for you, buddy, for all the information you provide, I'll do it again. I'd be a buyer though. Okay. I'd be a buyer down here at about 375. And that's what I said. I did it already, but I did it again. I got no problem with it. All right, again, I think we're getting closer to getting a lot more active. Not quite yet, but you can see some signs. And again, obviously, remember, there's a lot of news-driven stuff here. Okay, so just be careful. Have a great week, and I'll see some of you tomorrow morning and some of you tomorrow afternoon. And until next Monday, and I won't be late next week because I'm sure I won't get the call from Fox again. I'll see y'all next week. Adios.
You know how the financial world goes. Here comes the buzzkill. Please make sure to take some time to read this boring disclaimer. We will owe you one.